Welcome to her wind down. Now, everybody on this couch is married except for Angela and Jossie. Now, modern day dating is something that we discuss constantly. So today, we added a guest so she can help on this topic. Let's all welcome Janae to the conversation.
What's your wind down? What's your wind down? What's your wind down? What's your wind down? Show me, tell me, what's your story? I wanna hear it. What's your opinion? Like it, love it. Hashtag it, love it. Hashtag or post it. Retweet or repost it. She's my sister, she's my friend. We stay rolling till the end. We stay vibing no matter what we're riding. We can laugh, be shy or cry. Let's find answers, not ask why. We stay vibing no matter what. We're smiling, we're smiling. I got this, you got this, we got this, we good. I got this, you got this, we got this, we good.
Welcome to her wind down. Now, everybody on this couch is married except for Angela and Jossie. Now, modern day dating is something that we discuss constantly. So today, we added a guest so she can help on this topic. Let's all welcome Janae to the conversation. Hello. So, ladies, and just to give you guys a little backstory, Jossie's in her 20s, Janae's in her 30s, and Angie's in her 40s. So with the decade jump, 29, 30, she's 30. Sorry, no, we want to save our time. Sorry. Well, you still see the age difference.
Yeah.
So let's see if everyone's opinion is somewhat similar, okay? So what has been the biggest challenge you ladies have faced with dating?
One of my biggest challenges is just guys who don't have morals. And they just want you to do whatever the next chick is doing. So they're not even trying to work hard for you. They're just like, well, I got another one here. So if you're not doing what I want, if you're not having sex, I ain't got time for you because I'm not ready. And I'm just like, really? I'm 40. You ain't ready?
And how old are they usually?
They're usually 40. I don't date guys younger, but they're still like, they're a little bit immature. They're still trying to find themselves. And I'm just like, that's not exactly where I am. I know who I am. I'm at a point where, like, if someone comes to me, he really needs to be ready to come to me and just to date and just to be like, to get to know me. Mm-hmm. Not just like, oh, so you ready to have sex? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Do you guys come across the same type of issues?
Yes, a lot. Well, I'm 20. Of course I come across immaturity. All day. Of course I come across people trying to find themselves all day long. Like, you know, so I feel like for me, like, my standpoint with it is like, I mean, I'm chilling. Like, you know what I mean? You could chill, you could do you. It's cool. I don't, no pressure of nothing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm never going to be the one to be like, well, I mean, now's the time. Like, you know what I mean? Or on a guy to where it's just like, when are you going to wife me? Are you going to wife me? Or like, what is that about? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, no, I'm good. I feel like I'm good within myself. And there's a lot of people out there. Like, you know, a lot of people out there. If one's not working, okay, next. Like, you know.
So maybe that's the difference.
That's the mindset, though.
Uh-huh.
You are chilling, and they're chilling, and she's looking for someone to settle down. And guys are like you said, if they won't do it, the next one will.
Right.
You're chilling, and I don't want to chill.
Right.
They're let's Netflix and chill. Let's come to your house. Let's drink. Let's turn up and let's smoke. No, I don't want to chill. I'm going to date.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Take me out.
that's the age difference too. Like for sure. Of course, I'm only 21. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really care about none of that. Really, I don't even want to be in a relationship with you either. You know what I mean? That's too. Like, you're not the only one that's trying to be the only one. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's how.
So then the difference is you don't mind the Netflix and chill, and then you're like, well,
I want to go on dates.
I want to go on dates. I want this lead
travel,
to a.
museums, do things.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's experience life together.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
So do you guys think like there's a difference with today's time of dating compared to like 10 years ago? Well, not for Jossie. Like 10 years ago, like you was close to Jossie's age and you're like, hold on, this was fun. Maybe you was in her situation, or maybe like social media plays such a factor into dating to where it's now yesterday's time compared to today's time because of social media has changed the dynamics of even wanting to step out there and date.
You know what social media does do? There's certain relationships, like people post parts of their relationships on social media, and it's like, oh, if a guy takes his girl out on a picnic or something and decorate, or like just things that like don't really happen in relationships, and it's like it gives us as girls like, oh, this is what he should be doing, like, you know, because we see it on social media, but like all relationships aren't like that, and all guys aren't like that, like, you know what I mean? It just, it kind of feeds us a fantasy of what a relationship should be like. So we have our mindset of like, oh, when I get a relationship, this is how it's gonna be, and this is how it's gonna be. And when it's not like that, it's like we kind of already set the guy up for failure in a way, like, you know what I mean? Because we're expecting these things. We ain't even opened our mouths to say like, oh, this is what I want, this is what I want you to do. It's kind of like we were already expecting them to do that, and then when they didn't do that, it was like, oh yeah, like, you're not it. Like, you know what I mean? This isn't how a relationship should be. When really, like, that's your own relationship, and what you've seen on social media was those people's relationship. Like, you get what I'm saying?
And 9 times out of 10, that wasn't even
That's
those
not even
people.
their
Yeah.
relationship. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So,
And it's so funny that you guys experienced social media in the dating world where it was prevalent, I think, when you guys were like in maybe high school or your early 20s, where we didn't have social media. You literally had to connect. So you really had to be bold. I'm going to come up to you. I'm going to ask you. So you had that connection. So then when you go into the age of social media and you're like, wait, what is this? People don't even approach you anymore. How they... Yeah, they go into the. I mean, really, go to the DMs, and they're like, okay, this is how I'm going to contact you or something. So you're just like, how do I even communicate with you and just really connect with you when, you know, you really are just like, okay, let me just send a text or something like that, or, you know. So I'm just like, it was better for me before social media in regards to just the connection of communicating and a guy actually approaching you and coming up to you, calling you on the phone. I mean, we had pagers in high school, so you have to, regardless, you gonna page me, you got to call me.
Right. And if you don't get a 143 on your page, you're like, you don't love me. You don't love me.
Like what you're saying, guys nowadays, they don't ask you for your number. They like, what's your Instagram or what's your Snapchat? And then they follow you, and then if they see what they like or they get to know your personality, then they ask you for your number. Then they text you with it. They don't even ask you for my number anymore. They're like, what's your Snap? What's your Instagram?
Wait, so you saying they learn your personality through your social media?
Yeah, like to see, like if you showing all your body or parts or have cleavage, they probably say, okay, she might be fast. Or they see you turning up, smoking and stuff. They're like, okay, cool, I know how to approach her.
Wow.
That's how they learn you off your social media. So when they see my social media, they're like, okay, she's, you know, she has
body.
my daycare. I post, you know,
Picture of the
motivational
kids.
quotes. And they're like, okay, how can I hit her up? Like,
It's probably like she want to settle down. She want to get
Yeah.
married.
for me, it's the complete opposite. Like, people ask for my number, I'm like, you can have my Snap. Like, that's so funny. I'd be like, no, like, you can have my Snap. Like, you can have my Insta.
But you see, that's crazy how
The
it's your
change.
era,
Yeah.
and it's totally
Yeah.
flopped.
That is
Or,
Like,
or
it's
how
your
about
era, though.
it's her era.
But I'm saying,
But they're
it's
your
flopped.
age and your age that's
Yeah.
in her mindset.
still-
And her
yeah,
mindset.
that's what I'm saying. It's totally
That's
flopped.
sick.
And
Yeah.
and when you get to that and you're like, okay, at a certain point it's just like a maturity level. And then you have where you're like, okay, depending on, I mean, it's different classes of guys. You have guys who are in their 40s who are still immature. They're like, I want younger, I want somebody in their 20s, or, you know, I'm not ready to settle down, so I'm just going to go ahead and date A, B, and C. And I'm just going to have like my roster. Where I'm just like, I don't want to really be a part of your roster. I'm really trying to connect with you. And I'm just like, if you're not interested in me and getting to really know me, I mean, it's like you don't even really date. You don't even court. So what am I really connected? What am I going out with you for? Right. They
So
don't.
did you guys, now you guys, you know, we're all married and stuff, but did you guys find it to be this difficult before you got married?
Well, my husband.
She don't count. Don't put her in this equation.
You're right.
Like,
Close it.
she dated her husband. She
Since
married
I was
her husband.
13,
So she
like-
don't count.
Aw.
She never dated anybody else.
It's a beautiful
Such
love
a great
story.
love story. Like,
Right.
everybody play the violin for this because it's a beautiful love story.
Okay, go ahead. So did you find
But
it
it's so
difficult?
really, it's so pretty though.
So did you find it this difficult before you got married and dating?
My dating life, it was very short lived, but it was just constantly wanting to be intimate. Like, I never found anybody that was like, oh, okay, yeah, let's date for months. Like, no, it was like, oh, okay, let's date. You come on back, come to the house. Like, it wasn't, oh, let's court. Like, my dad would call it courting. That boy ain't courting you. He ain't. And I used to be like, no, he not. He wants something else. So dating my husband, it was he wanted to be married. So he dated me. He chased me like dating me. I wanted
Wow.
to hear that.
You see, with me, I'm glad I'm married because hearing this,
Yeah, I couldn't make it.
what? Right.
wouldn't
But
have
I
done
didn't have issues like that. My whole thing is I felt like I was a runaway bride. Like somebody said, "Oh, will you marry me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, now we can't date anymore."
That was too much.
That was a red line. Excuse me, but can we live together? Yeah, now we're broken up. Excuse me, but I love you so much. Like, I don't want to hurt your feelings.
That's where I get it from.
Yeah.
You're my problem.
Look, we have all these breakthroughs coming
Right. And so it was one of those
Yeah.
things where I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to settle down. I don't want to get married. I don't want to do that. So I think sometimes maybe in dating, you guys want it all and you're saying, no, I'm going to have it. I want it. But the way guys work nowadays, they like this
You can't take
challenge.
that.
Maybe they haven't really changed much. Maybe it's a challenge you got to give them and be like, you know what? I really don't care. Like literally every time I went out on a date, it was like, you was my best friend. Let's go out. I could watch the game. I could play Madden. We could do whatever. We could have fun, but throw up the deuces. I have to go. I don't want to be here. I don't know. I just really didn't care. And then it was almost like,
yeah.
where are you going? How come you
Yeah.
can't stay? It's like, what? So I think
Yeah.
sometimes you put too much into it. Like, I need to be with you. I want to be around you. It's like, no.
But I think it's
get
different
ghost.
phases. I think it's different phases in your life. Like, of course, when I was a teenager, it was just like, oh, it was fun, and you're like, oh, it's puppy love. But in my 20s, I definitely said I wouldn't have been a woman to get married in my 20s. I wanted to explore. I was like, I want to just explore my womanhood. I was like, I just want to date. I'm not even going to try to fall in love because right now I'm just trying to find me. And then when I get into my 30s, I'm like, okay, I'm into my career. I'm feeling my groove. And then I'm like, okay, now this is where I am. And I remember I was dating a guy in Philadelphia, and I was like, I wouldn't commit to him. I was like, we can hang and chill. It was very, very comfortable, but I knew I didn't want to take the next step with him just because I was like, well, if anything goes further, I'm not gonna stay out here. I'm always gonna reside in California. So let's just keep it how it is. And then you get to a point where, I mean, I know it's a guy who I went to high school with who really liked me, and we went out before, and he was ready to get married. And when we were in our, I think, early 30s, we went out on a date. It was great, and he was like, Angela, when you gonna be ready to have kids and stuff like this? I was like, I ain't ready for that right now. I'm just trying to get my stuff together. I'm in my career and stuff, and I kid you not, I ended up seeing him, of all places, Gospel Fest, with his girlfriend at the time, who was now his wife, and she was pregnant. And I thought, all that time, I was like, wait a minute, she pregnant? She with you? What did I miss? And then I was like, did I miss out on a good guy? And he is a great guy and a wonderful father and all that. His wife is lovely, but I was just like, this was not the time for me. I still had some time to grow. And so I just needed to, now that I'm in my 40s, I'm really like, okay, now I'm ready. I feel like I've traveled, I've done what I wanted to do. I've accomplished a lot in my career, and I can be like, okay, I'm good. I'm ready for this now.
Okay, wait. So to me, this is what it sounds like you're saying, okay? It sounds like you're saying, which a lot of women have been saying sometimes, is first education, then my career, then I'll worry about marriage and kids. And then there's some women that say, well, you know what, I want to get started on my family, and get married, have some kids, and then I'll worry about school and my career. Yeah. So it sounds like you kind of decided to choose a different route, and now you're saying, dang, now I'm 40, I want to get married. So it's like it's always been there, but then you just chose to take a different route with dating.
Well, no matter what, I've never ever been the type to be like, okay, I want to have this big wedding and stuff, but literally, I was selfish when I started following God and really living my life for Christ. I said I was just out there, dealing with my guy and just being like, oh, we cool, we smoking, we drinking, we having sex, we're good, we have an understanding. And then literally, I looked over to him one night and God said, is this who you want to be with? And I was like, look, you got to go. Because I knew that I didn't feel comfortable because I didn't want to experience certain things with him that I did. No, but in that moment, that's when God spoke to me, and that is why I said, you know what, I'm really gonna live my life for God, because I am not just someone who you should be sleeping with. I want to be a wife and I want to be a mother, and I just always felt like this is the journey and this is the path that God put me on. So yes, it's like all of y'all are married and y'all have kids, and I'm like, dang, I admire that, but I'm just like, oh, I'm ready, and I feel like when the time is right and this is the season for it, it'll happen. But that's just the path I needed to. Like my 20s, I was very, very selfish. I couldn't even see myself being a mom because I wanted to travel. I wanted to be able to go out and do whatever I wanted to do and be Yeah.
Did you feel selfish like that?
At
When you were
first,
younger?
no, I didn't. At first, I dated a baseball player, and I did everything his way. Like, I went to school, he went to school, and I was thinking, like, okay, I'm about to get a wife. Let me get what I need to do to, you know, basically get everything I need to do so that he gets drafted or whatever, I can follow in his footsteps. I can go with him. And then that relationship went left. And since that relationship went left, I was like, I'm not about to put a guy first. I'm about to do what I need to do first, get myself established, get what I need and everything. Then, you know, wherever I find someone, they can come into my picture instead of me going to theirs. So.
Or just not y'all meeting each other halfway and saying, hey,
Well,
this
we
is
do,
what I
yeah.
like, this is what you like, this is what
Yeah.
my interests are, this, you know. So what do you guys think is missing in modern day dating then? What is missing? If y'all said, you know what, if they had this.
Morals.
And chivalry.
If moral chivalry, if I think too, if women knew their worth, a lot of women don't. So the women that do know their worth, they look like, oh, you stuck up, or you think you all that. But it's like, I know what I am, I know what I possess, I know who I am, but because A, B, and C over here is just dropping
the
everything, giving you everything, doing anything, you're looking at me like something's wrong with me. And to a certain extent, you guys start to feel like something's wrong with you because you are keeping and holding
Having
yourself to a
standards.
standard.
Or like they just feel like we owe them something. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to have sex with you if I don't want to, and I don't have to give you a reason why I don't want to. I just don't. And it's as simple as that. Like I don't have to say, oh, this isn't like, you know what I mean? And it's just like they really feel like they deserve that. Or like they're owed that. Like
That's crazy.
I'm giving you my time. I'm being nice to you. You need to have sex with me. Like I literally had somebody tell me I'm nothing but good to you. As you should be.
Right.
That doesn't mean I should have sex with you.
Right.
He literally said, I'm nothing but good to you. Like, what's up? As you should be. You think I should have sex with you because you're being a decent human being to
Because
me.
you're doing what
And
you're
that's
supposed
a
to do.
problem. Like, that's when he said that, that literally made me like,
And he
Are
was,
you serious?
he was how old?
he was 22. He's 22.
Okay, I was dating a guy around this time last year, same thing, and he's about 40. You know, he was like, oh, I'm being nice to you and stuff, and, you know, everything was cool, and I think it was a dead giveaway when I asked him to watch the show. We had the whole show on dating, and I said, I'm waiting until I get married to have sex again, and he probably was like, I'm done with her. But really, he was just like, he just didn't know how to handle it. Like, everything sort of worked with us in minus that. He was just like, you know, and I said, listen, you're a great guy. And he's like, you're amazing. And I'm like, yeah, I sort of am. But no. But I
know
you
The
know,
humility in it all.
no,
Just-
but what I told him, I was like, it's okay if we don't see, if we're not to get together, if it doesn't go anywhere, and we're just like, we're cool. I think you're a great guy, but not for me. And I am a great woman, but just not for you. We just didn't mesh. But that was a huge thing. It always comes down, in my case, to are you having sex or not? And I'm just like, I'm not. And I'm just, I don't feel like that I should give that to you just because you think that's exactly what you're supposed to do. You haven't earned it. I don't know where this is gonna go, and it goes against what my belief are. You need to be in a mature relationship, and I've done it before. I've done it the wrong way. So I've done it the wrong way so many times that I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it God's way, and I'm just gonna stay straight with that. So, 21 and 40, it don't matter.
But you know what it is too? You also have to talk about the lack of God in their life. So if they don't have a foundation of God with the standards that God has, then their standards are based on the world standards. So the world standards, and most of them don't even know
Exactly.
God.
Yeah.
And,
So that's where you lack.
that was crazy. Like, and I thank God every day that even though I met my husband at 13, he knew God, you know? And we like literally, and we talked about God from like day one, all the time. And I think that's what helped our relationship, because even times when we were young, you know, and we let our flesh get the best of us, we would reel it back in and say, look, what does God want for us? If we do
That's
want
good.
this to work,
Yeah.
we need to do this God's way.
Okay, so if you look at it that way, they have to have some type of standards, boundaries. They need to know God, you know, have God in their life. The generation that's coming up, most of them have different type of beliefs, though. So you can't always base it off of God. You have to introduce them to it by the way you live your life, you know? So with Angie, like she said in the first season, like Angie's practicing celibacy. are you two ladies practicing celibacy? You know, and then you got to look at it like, even if you're not, if you're dating him and you're talking to him, instead of just pushing Jesus down their throat and saying, well, this is how I live my life, or these are the standards I go by, there have to be a smoother way to do it to where they can respect your stance, not feeling like they have to follow the same God you follow just because they want to be with you, but like a slow transition. You understand what I'm saying?
More so on action and like what you like what they see you do and what they see you don't do, what they see that like basically
The things you accept.
yeah, the things you accept, and then the morals that you have laid out for yourself. Like you can't. It's more so on action, because you could rah about God all day to somebody and then act completely opposed to that, and they're like, well, you know, you're doing all these things that this person who's not even a religious person does, like, you know. So it's more so of like showing them better than telling them, like, this
Right.
is how I live my life, like, you know what I mean, and showing them instead of just constantly telling them, because you could talk all day, like, you know, but it's like, what are you showing them to make them want to do something different, or to make them want to
And how
get
you-
it
and how
right
you
to be
carry
with
yourself.
you. Exactly,
Yeah, how you
because
carry
when you do carry yourself to a certain point, or to keep yourself at a high level, then it does make guys be like, dang, like, I want to do this to just, even it could start off to just, to what is the word? My bad. Impress you. And then they find themselves, you know, doing better for themselves. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That's that.
So how's your dating life now, Janae?
It's actually good. It's actually good. I actually, I was talking to Angie. I actually went on a date last week, and it was phenomenal. It was bomb.
Now, what made it phenomenal?
No,
Right.
it was like
Elaborate.
everything I said that guys don't do in my generation, he did. So the first day he was like, "Oh, can we hang out?" And at first, I always tell guys no, because the first thing they think, they coming over to my place, they bringing something to drink, and we're gonna hook up. I was like, no. He was like, "Okay, can we just chill?"
Your words of hooking up.
Sex, intercourse, turning up. They bringing half on a bottle, half on a blunt, smoking. No, none of that. So I was like, yeah, we can go to Signal Hill. So he, I said, I'm outside. He came with flowers. Most guys in my generation don't bring girl flowers unless it's Valentine's Day or they did something wrong. So I was like, okay, what?
That's crazy.
Check. I was like, check number one. So then we went to Signal Hill. We just talked and we vibed out. And I was like, okay, see, that's cool. So then he's like, okay, what are you doing tomorrow? Because he was off. And I was like, oh, nothing. He was like, I'm going to take you out to dinner. First thing I thought was like, how much money, where are we going? He was like, you don't have to pay for it. Most guys don't pay, or they want to go half on the bill.
Wait, guys don't pay for dates anymore?
No, they're like, oh, you pay for you, I pay for myself, or I'll get
Can
it.
you still go?
No, I don't go. I'm like, I'm good. I'll stay at home, watch
I can
TV.
take myself to dinner.
Right,
Yeah.
I could. So
Wow.
he named this restaurant. I was like, I've never been. He was like, I got everything. He picked me up. Most guys be like, oh, since I'm paying, can you pick me up, or Uber there?
Wait.
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Raggedy.
Guys
can't.
will Uber, or like, I'll meet you there. It's not no quality time when you on dates and you can talk and listen to the music. And like, you listen to that song? It's none of that. But this guy, we went out. He picked me up. We went to a steakhouse. It was nice. My first time there. They had I like scenery, so they had a nice scenery. And then he paid. And then afterwards, he opened my door. And I was like, what? I've had my door open ever. I was like, hey, don't show it too much. But I was like, thank you, I appreciate it. Like, you know, I've never had someone open my door.
Did you
And
say
then-
that?
Yeah, I let him know, because I'm not, I'm not going to not downplay him and say like, So I was like, yeah,
you
thank
should
you.
Like, I'm used to
Right,
this,
right,
right?
yeah.
It's
So I was
norm.
like, thank you. So he knows. And then afterwards, most guys think, oh, I picked her up, took her out to eat, got your flashes straight, I'm going in the house.
I need my payback.
He opened my door and was like, you have a good evening. I was like, oh yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. Like, sign me up.
Wait, how old
baby,
is
you the
he?
one.
He's actually 31. So
Oh,
he's 2
wow.
years older than me. And the whole time we were talking, I was like, what's your goals? What do you see? Just basically trying to see if we're on the same page before I invest my time in him. And he was like, we've been following each other on social media since like 2014. And he finally talked to me. So I was like, okay. And we went on a date. It was cool though. It was cool.
Okay, so how do you guys feel about Plenty of Fish or any other website dating? Would you guys try 'em?
You know what? I think some people succeed at them, and I'm just one of those people who I go way to the extreme. Like, I be seeing stories about people meeting each other online and then they dead and stuff. So I be like, nah, I'm good. I want to. I am. It was
You bougie.
No, I'm not bougie. I want to make sure that I'm still gonna be alive if I go out with this person.
I'm gonna check for you.
We gonna go with it.
We're gonna be sitting in the back. Right there. We're sitting in the back. we get
No,
another
they
table.
will literally go.
The bird has left the nest.
I'm very apprehensive because it's sort of like I feel like I have to do a background check to feel safe to even move forward. And that's just me. I really like if it's someone who I met through somebody so they can vouch for them. And even getting to know someone, it takes time. So I'm just not going to be so open. I'm just like, oh my God, like you could be saying whatever you want. You don't know where this person is coming from. And so it's just sort of like I need to do a good background check if we're talking like that on social media.
What about you two? Since Angie said no.
Honestly, when it comes to dating, like I'm low-key a weirdo. Like I don't even like meeting new people and like saying like from meeting somebody like, oh, what's your name? I'm Jocelyn blah blah. How is this? Well, I don't really like that. Like I'm more so like I would date somebody that I knew in high school or something. Like you know what I mean? Like somebody that I was already knew or somebody I'm already familiar with. Like somebody that's been a friend for a long time and they were like, oh, now we're dating. Like I'm like that. Yeah, I'm have like a comfort zone type of thing. I don't like to just meet people and from fresh start and then like we've been talking for a while and now we're in a relationship. Like I've never done it, so I don't even know if I don't like it yet. I've never even done it. But yeah, I'm more of like oh my goodness, I knew you in middle school. How are you? Look at you, you're so great. And look at who I'm with now, guys. Like, that's how I am in the weirdest way, but yeah.
What about you, Janae?
I agree with both of them. Me, I'm a hopeless romance person. So if I can meet you at the grocery store or we bump into each other or things like that, then yes. But I do think it's the new norm for our age group.
The online
and
dating?
Online dating because people are on social media. And if someone like, you're looking for dating, I'm looking for dating, we can go on that app and connect that way and see what we have interest in. So I know a lot of my friends who are actually on those POF, Blacked, and all those sites and actually found relationships and actually are in love with those people.
But how, like, my thing is, like, I have two single sisters that they do the catch a fish thing. And
Plenty of fish.
yeah, but my thing is, how authentic do you know that stuff really is? Because it's basically just a profile and some pictures. So now, say for instance, I search all these profiles prior to making my own, right? I don't know how it works or whatever, but I can say I like everything you like, I like everything you like, and I like everything you like. And now I look like the perfect candidate to you, and you. You get what I'm saying? So then how authentic really is it? And then, of course, you're going to meet the person, but they still can kind of
Isn't that how marriage is?
That's
Yeah.
like that's like
You get
marriage.
married.
But that's anybody.
Not even
Yeah.
marriage.
But no.
In dating, you
Yeah.
can say, you can literally, oh, you like coffee. Look what I got. I've got a whole new set. Look at my shoes. Look at my outfit. Oh, you want to ride on the yacht? Oh, okay. Look what I got.
I just think it's
But you
different
can
because
build
with
yourself the same way.
dating,
You
like
get to
you're
hide
that person
behind.
is
You
like
get-
tangible. You
yeah,
can touch them,
you
and you
actually-
can kind of weed through more
Yeah.
of
But
it.
then you don't
Sometimes
really know
that's
a real
worse.
person until
You
dating
really
them
don't
till
know
a
a
year
person.
afterwards, after they, their honeymoon stage is gone.
Because they're going to show
That's
you
so
your
true.
best in front of, okay, yes,
Yeah.
this, and that. And then and everyone always, oh, I'm going to make myself look the best. Just like on Instagram, you're going to see the best pictures, everything.
Right, all the
But they don't
filters.
really give you the authentic them.
Right.
And so you're just like, well, how do I get to really know you authentically? Like, is this really you? Or some people are out there and they just say, hey, like it's a guy, when Tinder first came out, I used to work with him. He was like, oh my God, this is this new app and we're trying it for the show. And he ended up meeting his wife off of Tinder. They have 2 beautiful kids, and that worked for them. And sometimes it's people who just hook up. Like people are like, why you on Christian Mingle? I was like, they just trying to get it in on Christian Mingle. You can meet someone who they just say, hey, I'm on Christian Mingle, and they say, yeah, well, I want to sleep with you, or I want to. That's what they want.
On
So
Christian
it-
Mingle?
Yes,
Mingle?
on Christian Mingle. So it does not matter on which platform it can
thought it
be.
was gonna be
Tinder.
Yeah, but even if
Yes.
it's Tinder or it can be any type of platform, I think you're going to come across different people. You're going to come across people who really want to find someone on Authentic, and then you're going to find people who are just like, oh, I just want to hook up or something like that. There are even apps that you can go, and I mean, I've heard of people like, oh, you're in my area and we're just going to hook up tonight, and they go hook up that night. And they don't know anything about each other, and I'm just like, so how easy is it for you just to, you don't even have to call anybody anymore.
You don't.
You can just say, it's going down, and you can just use your DM and you go in, and the first time that you have a conversation with them, you're having sex with them, and then you never hear from them again.
That
Yes.
You've seen those billboards in Los Angeles that say 579,000 people are going untreated with HIV. that's because of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But everything too.
Yeah.
Girls
It's-
just
They just
hooking
don't
up.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
It's
tell you
really sad.
the thing that's good with that crap is that over the counter thing at CVS. Just go get something and poke them. Get the result. I seen that. I was like, oh my gosh. If
Yeah.
I was dating, I would be poking the
I'd
hell
poke
out of people. I'd
everybody.
be like, poke. Oh, sorry.
It's even
Why
different
can't we
for
just take a trip to the clinic?
Go to the clinic.
What's
Yeah, I
the
know.
point? I'm bored. They don't even ask. Do they
That's
ask that
crazy.
question?
No,
I
Yeah.
don't think
a
I got
guy
that
will
question
ask
asked
you your
before.
body count before he asks you the last time you went
got
to go get
tested.
tested.
Yeah,
Wow.
I asked that question.
Regardless if I had 70 bodies and I'm healthy, as opposed to you having 2 bodies and you have an STD, you're like they don't
ask that question
like
no
why
more.
do you care about how many people I've had sex with?
And
Like
the-
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that even if you think about just something
Wow.
simple as kissing, you can't even just simply kiss someone because you don't know. Like they said at Coachella, that Coachella that
herpes
just
outbreak,
happened,
yeah.
that there was a
Herpes
herpes outbreak because at Coachella because so
Because of
many
kissing.
people were kissing and stuff, sharing stuff, so
And
things like that.
they knew the strain
But who
because
does that?
it
Yeah,
was
like, that's
it
so
was
the- but the thing
isolated
about it-
to
yeah.
the Indio area.
right.
Literally just
So
there.
everybody was going to make reports. They all had the same strain
Strain.
of herpes.
So because of
Wow.
everything, because everyone's hooking up, and then there was one time where it was like a specific area. It was like in the Inland Empire. There was a high increase on STDs.
Yeah.
And you're like, one, I don't want an STD. Two, I don't want. I don't. I just want to be healthy.
Nobody
like, I don't,
do. And she said,
Right,
I don't.
I don't
We all
want
do.
to see.
I don't. We don't.
I just because sometimes I mean people are just
don't
like
think
I'm just
nobody's
gonna
like,
I'm just
good
gonna
with
do
one.
whatever. But I'm just saying that people just don't care because it's just careless. They don't really treat it like okay, it's casual. It's very casual. Sex is just very casual right now.
It's like
And
And
it's
it's like
a-
texting what's up.
Yeah.
the problem with our dating is people have lost intimacy.
Yes,
Like,
Joss.
Plain and simple. That's what it is. Like there's no more intimacy. So
No.
nothing really is matter. Nothing is serious. Nothing is deep. It
But-
just is.
And
You
how
got,
do
you got 10
connect?
seconds to impress them. Else they're scrolling to
That's
the
what it
next.
is.
Yeah.
There's no
And that's-
intimacy.
that's
People don't have 2
basically what it
parents.
is.
They don't even see intimacy. They don't even know what it is. They don't
Or
even
the
know what
love,
it is. They
or the
don't
example
They
of
don't
how
witness it, so
that
they
you
don't know
treat
how
them.
to give it. They don't know how. They don't know. They just really don't know. Like I really don't even feel like it's people don't want to. They really just don't know. So
I just hate when, like, I mean, I think it's cute in my marriage when I post and people say, oh, relationship goals, or I love this, or woo woo, whatever. And I'd be like, oh, that's so cute. You know, like, thank you. Or, you know, somebody say, oh, I'm going to be like you one day, or get like Terry or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's so, you know, I think it's cute. But then I'm thinking, you have no idea of
What
the
happened before
work
this
it
picture
takes to keep this afloat or keep it going. Like, I try to share it all, you know, on social media.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're in the sides of the corner, but we're in this boxing ring, but we're still at opposite ends of this, you know, boxing ring. Or, you know, I try to say, I love him to death. Oh my God. You know, so I try to be as authentic as possible to say, these relationship goals with some testing and some trials, you know, like,
Listen.
and then, you know, but most people don't want to see that. They just want to see relationship goals all the time.
wanna
Like,
see
you're going to
the
be happy all the
happy parts,
time.
and
You're going to
that
be
goes
smiling
back
all
to
the
the
time.
man.
And a lot of
social
times
media.
people only want to talk about the happy parts because a lot of times I know even in my marriage there was a lot of stuff that I did not know, just period. And if
As far
someone
as-
Like marriage stuff or just
marriage stuff, relational stuff, just in terms
To
of just
connect
communicating
with-
and being, you know,
A wife,
with someone
being a
and being a wife and all of these things. But the downside to it.
Okay, yeah.
Because there's always a downside.
Yeah.
But nobody ever talks about that.
always the
So when you
upside.
think about marriage, you think about marriage, you don't think about one fight. You don't think about one argument. You don't think about
I
one
do now,
moving
but
out
y'all
of the
like
house.
my friends.
But
I gotta be one person forever,
like,
and that's it.
But you know what?
That's
What I do
Done.
think that we understand as being single, like I can say, yes, okay. Sometimes I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not married.
Yeah,
when
no,
I
no,
see
no.
you guys go through little, you know, fights with your husband and stuff, and you go through those waves. However, for me, I rather go through life and have someone that I go through my ups and downs with, rather than just, oh, I'm still looking, or I'm dating him here and I'm dating him there. Like, I understand now, thank God, because I have you guys as an example and you're my friends and you guys are transparent. I'm like, no, what is it really like? Because I think that society gives you a false sense of what it is. Like, it's sort of like, okay, I want to get to the wedding and I'm going to look all good. But then what happens after the wedding? And how are you supposed to, what does real marriage look like?
And that's what's
Yeah.
not presented. And that's what I'm
Right.
saying. That's why I think the hopeless romantic. And it's not bad to be a hopeless romantic, but Do you think about the downside of it?
All the time. All the time.
Oh yes, so
Like,
you know there's a
all the
downside.
time.
I'm just saying, keep that balance.
Like,
Because
You
I
have
feel
to.
like I went in like everything's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, no.
And everything's just gonna be great. And I'm just gonna be the best wife ever. And I'm gonna have the best kids.
Such a weirdo.
And the best husband. And then reality hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't like I intentionally went in like a dodo brain, but I really was a dodo brain in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if to just
You see, but
call it
yours
out.
is different. Your quote
We
unquote
grew
dodo
together,
brain,
yeah.
you know, your quote unquote dodo brain was, you know, you weren't exposed to
that. Yeah,
a
my
marriage.
mom wasn't married. Yeah,
and
so-
so you didn't see all of that. This on the other end is even if some people see it, they're not seeing it all.
Yeah.
Right.
And
You
so
don't
then
see
it's a
that.
misconception
They
of
don't- they
what
don't
it's
see it.
supposed to look
you
like.
see,
So
you
it's
see
like,
up in the up front, like, oh, we see you when you guys are dressed together, and I see you, and it looks good, and you're out on date night. But we don't know what it is when you guys dislike each other. Are you going through something?
Yeah.
We don't know. And some people think are transparent, and some people aren't. But I think it gives you, it's real. Then you add on life stuff. Then you add on your kids. Then you add on your careers. Then what if it's something else that happened and all these different dynamics? I'm always consistently like, how do you guys do it? How do you manage, you know, just to balance your career and your husband and your kids and find time for you and all that? And I feel like I'm single and I get to, you know, move freely, but sometimes I feel overwhelmed with like, oh my God, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't have enough time. But to see how you guys move through stuff and how you guys like handle stuff, like, oh my God, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be awful as a wife.
okay, now wait. Okay, now wait. Okay, wait. Now you hear what Angela just said, right? So it's almost like it's overwhelming for her, but she's more mature. She's in her 40s and everything. Now you're talking about talking to a guy that you're trying to get him on your level. And he's like, I hear everything you're saying, but this is hard for me to swallow, just a part of this. You know, like we're the multitaskers. They're like, this is it. Let me stay focused on this. Let me worry about this. And so just think about how overwhelming it is for them. And it's almost like you got to literally slow walk them into a relationship, slow walk them into wanting to, you know, have that one girl, slow walk them into saying, okay, what about kids? Slow walk them into saying, okay, let's be together. We're going to be monogamous. You know, all the other stuff. You're just like, I can't just give this all to you at one time. Because then it's almost like there's just like red flags, I'm out. So it's like, yeah, so you got to be like, you got to pace yourself just like it could be overwhelming for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, with a man, you got to be like, you know what? Almost if you care but don't care. And he's like, man, I will do anything with you. I just want to love you. I want to be with you. I want you to have my kids. I want us to be a family. I want our picture to be up there. You know, like I want it to be the hallmark. You know, it's almost like you got to formulate stuff to him without telling him. But having him think that way, so then he could be like, no, it's you. You understand what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So last question of this. So as far as a person that's out there in modern time dating, what is the ideal guy that you're saying, if this person showed up on my doorstep, I knew this was it. This is him.
You want to start?
I would say a God-fearing man, someone who has a relationship with God, someone who has respect and morals, someone who respects their mother, someone who's not driven by social media and their friends, who not seek their friends but seek themselves and God and their family, so they're not easily influenced. Someone who has respect for a woman and respect for themselves and ambition and goals. That's what I'm looking for. So they came to my doorstep. Sign me up. Sign me up.
What about you, Josh?
All right, they coming to our
I
doorstep.
second her notion. And I want to say family oriented as well, and yeah, everything they said. Not easily influenced, because this generation of males are really easily influenced by their bros. Like the relationship that they have with their bros, like they could never with a girl for some reason. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you dang near should just date your bro.
Wow.
That's how I'm looking at it. Like that's how you should just date your brother. That's it.
That is too funny.
You found your match.
You guys love each
You
other.
guys love each other. You guys are it.
I say the same thing and just echo on that, but I feel like I would love a man to be driven and have his own career. I'm driven, and I'm just like, if we're gonna build together eventually, I want someone who's a go-getter like me. So I want to make sure, especially, just be comfortable in yourself. You can be able to move through different circles, like I move through circles. Like I want him to be comfortable around you guys, or comfortable around my family. He can come to church, or he can come to an event with me and just be like, oh, we can do this. So I want him to be comfortable in himself, so that he's like, oh, you know, I just don't want him to feel like, oh my God, I feel insecure about this around her, or you know. But he definitely has to be driven. He has to be a God-fearing man. I can't even submit to a man who's not God-fearing. So he just really, and he has to be comfortable, and he has to, you know, have a sense of humor. You know, I'm serious and I have fun at times, but I like a guy who can make me laugh. That put, you know, it puts you at ease.
The funny man.
Yes, it is, because it's just like you can
I had
have
a lot
a
of those
really
when I was
good
single.
time.
He's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how they get you.
Yes, I did.
I'm like, no joke. Yeah, no joke. I'm serious right now.
Right?
No joke.
Funny. Serious.
Okay, you guys, I gave you all a card, so look for it. It's the ride or die. So I'm going to explain this to you. Is that mine?
No.
Oh, this is yours. Okay, ride or die. So people be getting it all twisted up and all wrong, okay? Ride or die. It's not, I'm going to ride and die. It's ride or die, okay? So you either riding with him or dead that. No, die. No, die. That's never going to happen, okay? You either ride or die, okay?
Dying.
You're with it? Yeah.
All
okay.
that yes.
So here's the question, okay? You start dating this guy, and a month into the relationship, you find out your friend used to date him years ago. Do you stick through this relationship? Are you riding or are you dying?
Why has it been a month and I'm just now
that
finding
part.
out?
That part right there. I was like, in a month in, 30 days.
Why am
Okay,
I
so
just
Why
now
you didn't know your
finding
friend
out?
dated him?
Yeah, and
He should have told you. He should have told you.
Well,
She didn't
save
bring
him
him
around
Is she like-
situations like Angela was away at college. When she came back, she started talking to a guy because she was going
Are y'all
for 4 or 5
friends? Because
years.
my
But she
friends, I'm
wasn't
like, look
here.
at him right away before we get into a relationship. I'm like, look at this dude who I'm talking to. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
But
What
what
you
if they don't
think?
have social media? Everybody
They
don't
send
have
you the
social media.
Carfax. Everybody do that. Send a
No,
picture.
the
You know about him.
Carfax.
The Carfax.
I'm gonna give you his first and last name.
I do the Carfax.
Look him up. Do anybody you know
I do the Carfax.
what is a Carfax?
So let's say if you send me a picture of a dude, like
Uh-huh.
Carfax. Me, I Google everything. Social media, I look on inmate locate. I look up crime, see if they had any been arrested. Like baby mama's kids. I look on tag photos. Tag photos after tag.
Honestly,
I can see who, what, when,
I
what,
don't
how.
like how much access
I
you
gotta figure it
have
out.
to
To
people
somebody's
nowadays.
life. Right.
That's
It
why-
makes me want to delete everything and just go ghost. Like, why do you have so much
Why are
access
you
to
able
me?
to
Why are
know
you
what
able
my
to?
mama's DNA was?
Why? Why do you know
Like,
my
this is mama
mama's
page.
name? Like,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
why?
crazy.
I
But
don't
think
like that at
sometimes
all.
it's different because Terry and I didn't become friends until we were adults. However, we have crossed paths with some of the same guys as far as we talked to them in high school or something. And so it's always so funny, and we're just sort of like,
What you do with him? No, what you do
what
with him?
them?
Be like,
I was like, I don't want to compare notes with you. I'm not gonna do that. And so we always, so it could be something like it, or she'll be like, nah, Angie, wanna not be like,
I'm like, girl, you ain't
No,
missing
you don't-
nothing.
you ain't missing
You saved your life. Save your life.
Oh goodness.
Eskimo sisters.
You're good. You're good.
she my ride or die. She gonna
Okay,
tell
so
me.
the next question is, you're dating this guy, and every time you go over his house, his baby mom is there. He claims it's nothing and that they're just best friends.
No
Ride
such,
or die.
No such a
First
thing.
off, I died before the relationship because why he got a baby mama?
Why is she there?
That part right there.
And
We ain't
always
dating
there.
if you
First
got a
off-
baby mama.
Cause they look,
The
your
baby-
baby,
and
And why are they
South.
best friends? No
Right.
such a thing.
no
If
such
y'all
a
best
no
friends, y'all
such a
better work
thing.
no relationship.
No such a
It's
thing.
cheaper to keep her, so bye, I'm out.
That part.
Let's go.
I think that question was easy.
Y'all best friends, y'all better
Y'all,
raise that
y'all
kid.
say that's easy, but I see people and well, how you gonna tell me that my baby moms can't
I'm not
come
gonna
over
tell you,
here?
I'ma leave. Bye.
How you gonna
I'ma
tell me
tell
that
you-
I can't talk to my kid and woo whatever? And then I'm like, she's a
not
good
telling you
friend.
that.
We're
I'm
not
just
together.
telling you that's
like I
that's
see
not
that.
right.
You can do whatever
So
nobody's on this couch,
But
but
now
that's
we
some
see.
real
Right.
stuff.
And it's
Yeah.
not
People is
simple.
like,
You can
yeah.
do whatever
No.
you want to do, but
Do
now
you
That's crazy.
and your baby mama and your kids
And leave me
have
alone.
any
you
family?
guys,
Right.
See you guys later.
Okay, what about
life.
this one? Okay, so you've been dating this guy for 3 months. Everything is perfect. You guys have a lot of similar interests. But he starts telling you, dang, I'm really falling for you. I like you. But my ex is 6 months pregnant, but I don't want nothing to do with her.
I literally was in this situation. I literally was in this situation. Are you coming for me?
She didn't tell you. She knew.
She never
Done.
told me.
Had to have
Wait,
known.
hold on. Oh, you never told me this.
We ain't dropping no names.
Right, die. Next question.
Oh, I died. No, I died quick. So not only are you about to have a baby, but you want to be a deadbeat? Like, how does that even work?
Yeah.
That don't even
Like-
make sense. You don't want nothing to do with her. So now I don't. First off, I don't like how you just was sleeping around and then you just hop into a relationship.
Yeah.
And then she's pregnant and you don't want nothing to do with her. That is, first off, none of that even adds
It
up.
don't even add up.
None of it.
We're dying.
So are you coming for me? You didn't tell me this, baby. I'm pregnant.
She was like,
Okay.
wait a minute, Mom.
Okay, now you're gonna really think I'm coming for you, but I'm not.
As long as you coming for
But I'm
her.
not.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so you've been dating this guy for over a year, but you still haven't met his parents. Are you riding or dying?
I just died this week.
No, look, I got you. Tag me in. Because
I don't wanna play with you.
No, I'll say right, but not say die. Because our generation, I've been in relationships, and our dudes now, you don't see their parents.
I'm still dying.
Like you're dying,
that's-
but I'm saying you're not seeing their parents
Yeah, I'm
at all.
dying.
They don't
meet your
mean
parents
how
till like a
deep
year.
it is.
Yeah,
Like
they
to
don't
meet somebody's parents. Like I don't have to sit in your parents' face all day, but they should know
should
who
know
I
who I am,
am.
right.
If you mess with me, and if I'm giving you all my time, we're together for a year, and it's like if you're together for a year, you guys are most likely having sex, right? So it's like okay, anything can happen, like situational. What if I get pregnant? The first conversation I'm having with your mom is I'm pregnant. No, that's not about to happen ever.
Yeah, a lot
that's
of guys.
that's out.
Yes.
The
I'm
whole
definitely dying.
year. To whereas I can't meet your
That
mother.
means you hiding something. Somebody
That
else
means you're
coming over
hiding
to meet
something.
mom and
Hiding
You're
dad.
hiding me or you're hiding your mom. And either way, it's not
Nah,
right.
somebody else is visiting mama and dad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Period.
So
that's
that's
what
a lot
I
of
think
stuff.
too. Your mama don't know about me.
Wow.
Okay,
Oh,
last
when she
question.
find out, I'm dying.
That I'm
Okay.
gonna die for that one.
Okay, so you've been dating for like close to a year. You guys are talking about getting married and everything. Like, oh my gosh, this is lovely. But he reminds you that he does not want any kids. Are you riding or dying?
I'm not about to be with you for a year if you never wanted kids. I'm
I
dying.
want kids, so.
I'm gonna die. I know some people think that, oh well, he'll change and they get married and you go into it. And it's some women who say, well, I don't want to have kids. And men are like, oh, I thought it would change after marriage. So I think if they tell you, they really mean it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna die with that.
See, I went into the marriage saying, I don't want any more kids. I'm good. This is it. And then I ended up having 2 more babies.
Right.
But yeah, I know. I was tricked. So, with that being said, it's one of those things to where you're like, well, if he basically got a vasectomy, then you have no choice.
Yeah.
But if he's still shooting, it's really not up to him. Just do your job.
I'm married, so trap him.
You gotta make sure.
Right.
You
Oh
gotta
my
make sure.
gosh.
But then it's almost like, why even put him in that situation when it's something you
Yeah.
don't want? Then now all of
Yeah.
a sudden he probably want to resent you behind it. So it's like,
Yeah.
And
we have
resent
two
your-
different
And then
resent your
resent
child.
that kid. Why would you want to
Yeah.
bring a kid up in that
Arguments,
environment?
and
Yeah.
then you're not gonna show that love and
Yeah.
affection. Like I didn't want a kid anyway. Yeah, just.
But some
Yeah.
people do change their minds. I had a friend who she was like, I never want to be married. I don't want to have any kids. All this stuff. She is happily married with 2 beautiful kids, living a very happy,
And a lot of times
Life.
people say they don't want it because they don't know what it's about. They
Yeah.
haven't seen anybody succeed at it. Like say
Yeah.
for
They
instance,
had
if
trauma.
every experience they've seen was traumatic.
Yeah.
So they're like,
It's like,
I want no parts of that, not
Yeah.
knowing how great it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies. This was great. Always a pleasure. So, as far as modern dating, know your worth, know what you can put up with, know what you can't, have some standards about yourself. Do what you want to do. Don't let anybody control you or your life. It's your life. And that's it for her wind down.